we now have this question. This is the third question of the Pythagoras and Trigonometry series. And the idea is that we have three towns, A, B, and C. And town A is 25 kilometres north of town B. And the shortest distance between A and C is 40. And B is 32 kilometres from C. Is town C due east of town B? You want to justify the answer. The important part is justify your answer. Now, if we think about it, we know that A is 25 kilometres north of B. So, we're going to sketch this information. B. And the distance between A and C is the crow flies, as I said, was this. Put in there 25. That distance is 40. And it asks us, is C due east of B? Now, if A is north of B and C is east of B, well, the lines AB and BC, so these two lines have to be at right angles to each other. And this way is pointing up north. So this line and this one have to be right angled. Sorry, they have to be at right angles to each other. If those two are at right angles to each other, that makes this triangle right angled. But if we have a triangle and we want to find if it is right angled, then we can use what's known as the converse of Pythagoras' theorem. And the idea is that you find the square of the hypotenuse, or we won't call it the hypotenuse because we don't know if it's right angled, but we'll call it the longest side. You want to take the square of the longest side. Then you want to take the squares of both of the smaller sides and add those squares together. And if those two numbers are equal, then it's right angled. And if they're not, then it isn't. I'll show you what I mean. So the longest is AC. So we want to take AC squared. And that is 40 squared. And that's 1,600. Then we want to do AB squared plus BC squared, the two shorter sides. And that would be 25 squared plus 32 squared. And plugging them into the calculator, you get 25 squared is 265. No, 625, sorry. That's 625. And 32 squared is 1,024. That's 1,024. And if you want to add them, you then get 1,649. As you see, AC squared is not equal to this, and we say that that is not equal to 1600, and we have that AC squared is not equal to AB squared plus BC squared, and you want to give quite a detailed explanation. So we're going to make a few points. So because they are not equal, and I want to emphasize this again, at the start of the question, you do not write that AC squared equals AB squared plus BC squared. Do not ever write that in one of these converse questions, because the idea is you don't know if it's right angled, and you have to show that it is or isn't right angled. So you cannot write that. So as you see, we've found each of the components separately, but we don't claim that AC squared equals AB squared plus BC squared. So we say that triangle is not right angled. So triangle not right angled. Because Pythagoras theorem is not satisfied. So the idea is that Pythagoras is not satisfied, so it cannot possibly be right angled. If Pythagoras theorem was satisfied, then it would be right angled. So we just say Pythagoras not satisfied. The next point we're going to make is that because that triangle is not right angled, then AB and BC are not at right angles, they're not perpendicular. So AB and BC are not perpendicular. If I can remember how to spell that, I think I've got it right. It's maths we're doing, not English, so we should be okay. I think that's it. So because AB and BC are not perpendicular, and A is directly north of B, C is not due east. C is not due east of B. And that's us answered the question. So I will show you this one last time. It's not too bad once you do some of these types of questions, but you just want to make sure that you show both the mathematical working and you give a written answer that backs up what you've worked out. So thank you for watching, and best of luck with the studying and with the exams.